Hey guys, it's Al from Altruistic channel, and tonight I wanted to just touch base a little bit on some fun stuff. Actually, I wanted to touch base on a review type thing. So when I first started Altruistic channel, I started off with the intention of basically being a consultant. And so one of the things that I initially began with was the Skillshare project on training people how to find their voice for any given market. It didn't actually materialize as well as I thought it would because I decided to do this venture from scratch by myself. And it turns out that you can't do everything by yourself all the time. And so I had to let one thing go, and it unfortunately was a Skillshare. But it's a good thing to some degree because then everybody here on YouTube land or on LinkedIn land can access it through YouTube on the altruistic channel. And so it never actually got lost. It just, I repurposed it because I finally understood what editing was about. And I've made this joke before. Trust me, whoever is ever going to become part of my organization, if you are either my assistant or my editor, either editor, whether it's publishing or whether it's the production, you're going to be paid pretty damn well because I'm not doing it again. But having said that, what I wanted to talk about on that particular thing about your voice, here's the thing that I always caution with people because I'm seeing a lot of op-eds and stuff about this particular topic. When it comes to this, you have to stay true to who you are, and you have to value yourself enough to stay true to who you are. There's going to be a lot of times that people will tell you that you need to adopt a different personality or a different perspective on things. But at the end of the day, for where you are and for where you think you can grow to be, is it reflective of what you actually believe? And as long as you're not being a jackass about it, you should be okay. Like, it really should sell well. What does not is when you start to veto or change the way you are in order to make either sales or to make publicity. Don't do that. People respond to genuine product. They respond to not the fluff. It's not an election. It's not like the confetti effect where they throw the gay thing up in the air or abortion up in the air and people go, oh my God, and they stop focusing. This is your brand. And so this is going to be long after the goods and the bads go. It's going to be who you are as a company. So stay true to your innate being. You cannot, yes, you can definitely train a monkey to, say please and thank you. But you cannot train the people who encounter that monkey for the rest of their lives. You have to allow them to deal with the ramifications of whatever it is you're presenting. Because your voice is not necessarily your brand. Your voice is actually something that speaks directly to like a public relations aspect. Your brand is nonstop, always there. It leads into the room before you get there, and it's the last thing they see on the way out. It is your reputation. It is what your client experience will be. And it's very important to always value it in those terms. It's about the customer experience. And if you're bringing something to market that's genuinely good quality, decently priced, or the complete opposite, super priced, because there's something interesting that happens when you price something very, very high compared to the rest of the market. It can sometimes take off. I mean, there's not really that much between a Timex watch and another watch. It's the craftsmanship and it's the way that they built it, yes, but it separated itself, right, by being more expensive. And not everybody can do that. So it branded itself in that way, but it had intention. And so it's always about finding your intention for the market. What is it that you're actually driving to get? What is the number one reason? What is the number one cause or is the number one thing that you are servicing with your voice and with your brand that will never end? And then you have to find a way to make it yours. So, I mean, there's different variables that you can put into this, but what if you are a makeup company? There is a lot of competing makeup out there. But one of the things that is not really well known is how many of them are actually focusing on, let's say, alternatives to the environmental ramifications of makeup. Because, they test makeup on monkeys and all this other stuff. What does your brand do that's different? And will that stand the test of time? More often than not, if you think it out and you actually have an actual process there, then yes, it will. And so you just have to trust that inner voice that we all have. And it can be tricky at times. Excuse me.